Welcome back to Elevated Sports. I'm Kyle Johnson.
I'm Billy Mock.
Today, we're going to be talking about the NBA All-Star Game.
All-Star Game.
Not only did we have the announcement of the reserves this week,
Yes.
but in the wake of the death of Kobe Bryant, we also had some changes to the NBA All-Star Game. So
I'm digging the changes.
You're digging the changes?
We talked about.
Oh, I thought you meant like you're digging them up right now, like you're trying to figure out what they are.
I'm finding the post. Here we go. Okay, stick with me here. Here are the changes that the NBA, has implemented to the All-Star Game. So, both NBA All-Star Game teams will play for Chicago-based community organizations. The game's in Chicago this year, as selected by the team captains Giannis and LeBron. So they'll both choose different charities, Chicago-based charities, and they're going to play for those charities. Teams will compete to win each of the first three quarters, so it's almost like the first three quarters are their own game.
Right.
All of which will start at the score of 0-0 and will be 12 minutes long. At the start of the fourth quarter, the game clock will be turned off and a final target score will be set. Now here's where it gets a little confusing. Stick with me here. The final target score will be determined by taking the leading team's total cumulative score, so all their score put together through the three quarters, and adding 24 points, the 24 representing the late Kobe Bryant's uniform number. Once the final target score is set, the teams will play an untimed fourth quarter, and the first team to reach the final target score will win the NBA All-Star Game. For example, if the cumulative score of the first three quarters is 100 to 95, the final target score would be set at 124 points. To win the NBA All-Star Game, the team with the 100 points would need to score 24 points in the fourth quarter before the team with 95 points scores 29 points. All right? Does that make sense? Let us know. The community organization selected by the winner of each of the first three quarters will receive $100,000, a total of $300,000 donated to charity for those three quarters. The winner of each of the first three quarters will be the team with the higher score at the end of the 12-minute quarter. The winning team in the NBA All-Star Game will earn $200,000 for its designated community organization.
So, if you had a hard time figuring that out, as you can see, I created a little chart here. So we're just going to give you a basic example. Quarter one, the score starts at 0-0 because that's how you start any athletic event. Any athletic event, 0-0. Let's just say the East scores 24 points. The West scores 22. The East would win $100,000 for their charity, correct? Or was it 10,000?
Yes, but it's LeBron, Giannis, not East West.
Yeah, this is just a basic example.
Okay,
Please don't get caught up on the small details. So the East would win $100,000 for the charity. The score for going into quarter two, would reset to 0-0. Let's just say now the East scores 22 and the West scores 24. Now the West wins $100,000 for the charity. Beautiful. Score for quarter three resets to 0-0.
I'm gonna say something real quick. These are not gonna be the scores at the end of the quarters. We know there's no defense played in these games. It's probably gonna be like 75 to 64 at the end of the first quarter.
As I said before, please don't get caught up on the small details. It's just making the math easy for me.
I cannot help but think that there's no way possible this will be the scores.
Okay, so as I was saying, to start quarter three, the scores would reset to 0-0. Let's just say the East scored 20 and the West scores 16.
What?
Stop.
What?
So the East would win another $100,000 for their charity. So at this point, the East has a total of 66 points. The West has a total of 4, 5, 10, 62 points. That would mean that the cumulative score for each team at the end of the third quarter would be 66 to 62. In order to find the final target score for the end of the fourth quarter, you would add 24 to the highest total. So if you add 24 to the 66, bear with me now, 70, 90. So the total target score would be 90 points. So for the fourth quarter, the time is turned off, and the first team from 66 to 62, the first team to reach 90 points would be the winner. And whoever wins that quarter wins an extra $200,000 for their charity.
So here's the thing. The NBA All-Star Game actually has meaning now.
Yeah.
And good meaning, right?
Right.
Like, for instance, in the MLB All-Star Game, what it used to be was whichever league won the game, that league got home field advantage in the World Series. That has meaning. But this actually has, like,
positive impact.
Positive value to Chicago-based communities, to be community charities, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that the NBA is coming together to do this.
Something else I saw.
Yeah.
Team Giannis will be wearing number 24. And then Team LeBron will be wearing number 2 for Gianna.
That's right.
So that's a pretty cool tribute that they're doing to Kobe Bryant and his family.
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Were there any other changes? Did I miss anything?
No, that was it.
Did you find my chart helpful?
I found it pretty helpful.
Of course, there's some small details, team names, scores that were obviously off, but it just made the math a little bit easier.
Yeah. Well, I actually am going to be watching this year's All-Star Game. I have not sat down and watched the All-Star Game for like the last 4 years. Like, I'll just watch the highlights. But I'm finally going to watch a game this year.
Okay.
And the dunk contest should be fun. I heard Zach LaVine is coming back.
Ooh.
Well, no. Was it Zach LaVine or Aaron Gordon coming back?
Why not both?
It should be both. Rematch of 2016.
That would be
epic. Dwight Howard is supposedly coming back.
Okay.
And I heard John Morant got an invite. And I think Donovan Mitchell also got an invite.
Yeah, he should.
So we could potentially see a dunk contest of all previous winners.
That would be very epic.
And Dwight Howard.
Dude, this is like the third quarter quell of the Hunger Games. You have the previous winner, or like the participants for like this year's Hunger Games dunk contest is the previous winners from past years.
Imagine if it was Dwight Howard, Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, Donovan Mitchell. Even though Aaron Gordon didn't win, Zach LaVine won a different dunk contest, not the year Aaron Gordon was in it. Actually, it was the year before he won it. I think Aaron Gordon should have won that contest, even though both of them were great. So I'm just going to say Aaron Gordon was the winner.
Right.
Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, Dwight Howard, Donovan Mitchell. NBA, make it happen. Yeah. And if one of them aren't in it, I would love to see John Morant in it. Like, that would be awesome. I'm excited for that.
So you got the dunk contest. You got the Rising Stars game.
Rising Stars, correct.
Team World versus Team USA.
Yep.
That'll be interesting. Got some good players on those rosters.
I have the lineup right here.
All right. You wanna
For World, you got, and whichever team this guy's on, I apologize that I don't know what team he plays for. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I can't remember what team he plays for.
I think he plays for the Pelicans. I might be wrong.
He may. DeAndre Ayton, RJ Barrett, who I did not know was from Canada.
I didn't know that either.
Brandon Clark, Luka, of course. SGA from the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We just call him SGA because it's easier. Another one whose team I did not know he plays for. Rui Hachimura.
He plays for, I think he plays for the Wizards.
The Wizards?
Yeah.
Okay. Svi.
Really struggling here.
Mihaluk.
Let me see. That, I have no idea. I don't know where he's from, who he plays for. If you know, if you recognize this name somehow through the butchered pronunciation, please let us know.
Yeah. And then you fill it out with Joshua Okogie and Moritz Wagner. That's the World team. USA, Miles Bridges, Wendell Carter Jr., Devontae Graham, Tyler Hero, Jaren Jackson, John Morant, Kendrick Nunn, Eric Pascal, PJ Washington, Trae Young, and our boy Zion. There was the other dude from the Pelicans. I can't remember his name. Jackson something. I think Jackson's his last name. But I think he's a rookie. Was like fuming that he wasn't on this team for some reason. And went to social media and said some pretty vain things about the NBA. Yeah, I hope he does. Jackson Hayes, that's his name. Jackson Hayes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. He's a good player. I mean, definitely needs to get over it. So yeah, Rising Stars game. I'll likely watch that simply for the fact that Zion's in it. Zion versus RJ Barrett, former Duke teammates. I think that'll be a fun matchup. John Morant and Zion on the same team. Now that we got some potential there.
2 Rookie of the Year candidates.
2 Rookie of the Year candidates.
Actually, 3. You got Tyler Hero.
Tyler Hero's on there. Devontae Graham, who's I think in his second year, but definitely a sleeper for kind of like, I mean, not for any award, but just kind of an underrated guy that I think is going to be great. He was a standout at Kansas, plays for Charlotte this year. Kind of been fun to follow him. Yeah, that USA team is pretty dirty.
It's pretty
dirty.
team.
But Luka plays for the world, so you have no idea what could happen.
Yeah. And now we get to the actual All-Star game.
Yeah, the reserves. The reserves have been announced, and may I tell you, there is some snubbing. There is some snubbery. There is some snubbery in this.
Some very bitter players in the league.
Very bitter players, but with the right reason.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Bradley Beal got snubbed.
Bradley Beal snubbed.
Devin Booker
snubbed. Those were the 2 biggest ones.
Yeah.
First of all, both of them first players in 35 years to not make the All-Star game, averaging 27 points per game. Every player in the past 35 years averaging 27 has made the All-Star team. Devin Booker, first player in NBA history to average 27, 6 assists on 60% total shooting from the field to not make an All-Star team. Absolutely insane. If you think back to last week, I gave my predictions of the reserves. For the East, I said Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal, Ben Simmons, Sabonis, Kyrie, who didn't make it, Andre Drummond, and Jason Tatum. So 3 guys on there I named did not make it. Drummond, Kyrie Irving, which was likely because he's been dealing with the injury, and Bradley Beal. Who replaced them? You got Kyle Lowry. You got Bam from Miami, and Chris Middleton from Milwaukee.
Chris Middleton was a big sleeper that you missed. You completely missed him.
You can put him on. You can put him on that. I think the biggest one on here, I would totally switch out Bradley Beal for Kyle Lowry.
Oh yeah,
for sure. And personally, I would take Andre over Bam. But Kyrie, Chris Middleton, I'm fine with him being on the team, and Kyrie not. That was just my original pick. You move out to the West. Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, Brandon Ingram, Rudy Gobert, Nikola Jokic. That wasn't my prediction.
I was counting. I'm like, man, you nailed that.
No, I did
you say
not.
Brandon Ingram?
On my predictions.
No, did you just say his name?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
So on my predictions, I had Westbrook, Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, Jokic, Ingram, and Paul George. So just like the East, I had 3 wrongs on the West. In my predictions, Cat didn't make it, Booker didn't make it, Paul George didn't make it. And they were replaced by Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, and Rudy Gobert.
See, you didn't pick Dame because you're just bitter.
That's true. If you were mad that I snubbed Dame, that's fine. But here's the thing: if Dame didn't make that team, Booker and Beal is still bigger snub than Damian Lillard would have been, in my opinion.
Right.
So Chris Paul, I'm not totally sure about that one.
I'm not sold on Chris Paul.
I'm not sold on him. I think that Thunder team has a lot of young talent that has allowed Chris Paul to be able to elevate his game. So I'm not totally sold on that one. Gobert, you are talking about 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't think you can neglect that.
No.
Hasn't put up great numbers, but defensively he's just such a threat on that side of the ball. So I'm okay with him being an All-Star. And then Damian Lillard. I mean, he's an All-Star, but I was just bitter at him. But if I was to put Devin Booker on this team, Chris Paul is my guy out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
No, I agree with you.
And then I did see a list, an all snub list. So you got Booker and Beal, of course. Then you got Zach LaVine, who has had a pretty good season with Chicago. Personally, I don't think he's All-Star caliber. Andre Drummond, Paul George, DeMar DeRozan. Derrick Rose was a guy on a lot of lists. Jaylen Brown and Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns, I personally would have had him on this team instead of Gobert. I didn't have him on my predictions. But like I said, I'm okay with that simply because, you know, Cat isn't on a great team. Gobert is, and he's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So you can't get all these guys on these teams.
Right.
So honestly, I don't think all these guys are snubs. I think these are guys that make cases for a spot, but I don't think anyone should be, you know, losing sleep over the fact that these guys aren't
Right.
All-Stars. So yeah.
All right.
The snubbery on Booker and Beal, though, is just blasphemous.
Yeah.
So
That's
how I see it.
So we filmed this video last week. Last week
Yes.
we filmed the video and we did a draft.
Oh, yeah.
I posed as Team Giannis. He posed as Team LeBron.
Yeah.
We did our draft. If you don't remember, our teams are on the board. As Team Giannis, we drafted Kawhi, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, and James Harden.
James Harden, it balances out the defense on your team.
Right.
You basically have three, really four likely contenders for Defensive Player of the Year every year. And then you have the worst defender in the NBA in James Harden. So it kind of balances it out. You got the Twin Towers in AD and Embiid, and then you got the Claw and Kawhi, and then you just got 12-foot wingspan Giannis. For me, I got the smallest team in the league. LeBron, Pascal Siakam is my center. That's not saying too much. I got Kemba at point guard, Trae Young at shooting guard, Luka at small forward, LeBron's my power forward, Siakam is my center. Siakam really just would be a non-factor in this game. Like, he would just set picks pretty much just to get Trae Young to open for a three. But anyway, we're going to draft out of the reserves list to complete our teams.
So how do we? I know to decide who drafted first for the last video, we did rock paper scissors. Do we want to do that again?
Yeah, we can do it again.
All right. Yes.
Dang it! You got the first pick last time.
Yes.
Too.
All right. Let's see. Who do I take first? We're gonna write down the board.
Might as well.
Yeah, we're gonna write down the board for you viewers.
Whiteboard.
All right. First pick. Westbrook.
You want Westbrook? Oh, that's right. You need.
I need some guards.
Need some guard support.
So I got Russell Westbrook.
Okay, because I think personally my weakest link on this team so far is my bigs. I'm gonna take a big, and I am gonna go with Rudy Gobert. Oh, well, you did red anyway.
I did red. Yeah.
Okay, I can't take the cap off. There you go.
Wow. Okay. All right. Next. I think I'm gonna go Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, all right.
Kind of trying to even out some guards and big men on this team. We went a little too big in the starters draft.
My next pick, Ben 10 Simmons.
Wow. Okay. Next. gonna go Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton, all right.
Get Giannis and Middleton back
That's
together.
true. That's true.
They're good together. They work together already.
Chris Middleton. I'm trying to figure out. So I basically picked a center and a point forward. So I want a shooter next for sure. Let me get Damian Lillard. I don't know. I'm actually picking Damian Lillard on my team.
Wow.
Honestly, though, I think he's a steal at this point.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Oh, you already took Gobert. Dang it. Give me BI.
Brandon Ingram?
Yeah.
Ingram has been having a season. For sure.
Under the radar.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna take those guys who are like middle of the field who can play big or small.
Really quick side note. I was thinking about this earlier today. Drew Holiday's on the trade block for the Pelicans. What the Lakers need is a solidified point guard on their team. Avery Bradley and LeBron cannot they just can't fill that role.
You think
Drew Holiday
Kuzma?
for Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma gets reunited with his boys, Josh Hart, Lonzo, Ingram. That would be awesome. I think the Lakers would probably have to include a draft pick or something because I don't think that's a fair trade.
Yeah.
But how awesome would that be? All four of them are on the Lakers, and all four of them end up in New Orleans.
Thanks, LeBron. We've all been shipped out now.
It's likely though. I could see the Lakers going for Holiday. Anyway, okay, my second unit. Let me get another big just because my first unit's so small. Jokic. Dude, Ben Simmons and Jokic on the floor at the same time could be scary. Just because their passing ability and their size.
Well, you didn't take him yet. I'm gonna take Tatum.
Tatum, all right.
What a T8? Y? Tatum?
No, there's no way.
Jason spelled with a Y. I knew there was a Y somewhere in his name. I can't remember which name.
All right.
That was awkward.
Let me get. I'll take Sabonis.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we each get two more. You got Kyle Lowry, Bam, Donovan Mitchell, and Chris Paul left. 3 point guards and a center. Come on. Come on.
Okay. See, when you're team building like this, the goal is not only to choose the best players, but choose the players that the other team needs. That way they have to improvise beyond what they're comfortable with.
This is fantasy draft 101. Okay, so out of Lowry, Mitchell, and Paul, give me Donovan Mitchell every day of the week.
I 100% agree with you on that. Well, so here's the options. I can have Kyle Lowry, who's known to choke when you need him the most, or Chris Paul, who's a little ancient, but he still has a little bit of moves. I'm going to go with Chris Paul. I think he's a better passer.
Without a doubt, better passer. All right, I guess I'll have Lowry. Lowry's getting 0 minutes on my team. I'm just going to let him know real quick.
Lowry, you are the reserve of the reserves.
Here's what we need to do, is we need to do a simulation of this in 2K.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Like, your team, it has the big names. It has the size. Something about my team, though. There's something about my team that I like.
We're good. I want to figure out how to do that. Hey, if you have NBA 2K20, please go make these teams happen, and then simulate a game with it, and tell us what the final score is.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see.
Yeah.
Because I think my team's going to win.
I think my team's going to win. We'll see. What if this is the actual draft that they do?
If this is the actual draft, we will do a live punishment video where I streak across Tropicana Field in nothing but a thong.
Weren't you going to do that anyway?
Only if G-Man was there. But yeah, so that's our draft for the NBA All-Star game. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with our rosters? Do you think, you guys are wild? If you would have drafted someone differently, if you think someone else got snubbed, let us know in the comments below.
Yep. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the socials, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the IGs. Check out the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out. We'll see you next time.